We're in the modern world. We've come a long way over thousands of years. This brotherhood, as it came out of the Near and Middle East into Europe and then through the British Empire across the world. And we're now at the point where the control of the globe is possible. And we're also at a point, a crossroads, where we can choose to take the road of freedom, or we can choose to stay as we are and allow this agenda to unfold and further imprison, in a most extreme way, the human race in the next few years. Just a choice. We take that choice, this is gone. But we need to make that choice and do something about it. The aim of this agenda over this long period of time has been to create this structure. And don't take my word for it, just look around the world. It's unfolding now. This is not a theory or a prophecy. It's happening on CNN when you turn on every day. You're seeing it unfold. It is to have a world government which would control a world central bank, a world currency, a world army, and a microchip population. The microchip population is already being introduced. Under that structure of world government, the army, incidentally, the world army is designed to be NATO, gathering more and more countries and then becoming the world army by stealth. Under that world government is a European Union, which is now with a single bank and a single currency and very much in place. The American Union, the America's version of the European Union. The European Union came out of a free trade area called the Common Market, the EEC. The American Union is designed to evolve out of NAFTA, another free trade area, North American Free Trade Agreement. And in 1994, APEC, another free trade area, was created in the East and the Australia area, and that is designed to evolve into the Pacific Union. Under that is designed to come nation states and regions, and then the people, with no power whatsoever to control their own destiny, because the major decisions are made at these higher levels of power, particularly the world level. The microchip is being suggested all over the world. This is a guy at Reading University in England who was microchipped as part of a kind of experiment, but it's not really an experiment. All over the world in our lives now, that we're being prepared to take the microchip. People on one level think it's about electronic tagging and it's about knowing where people are, and that's okay, that's on one level of it. But it's more than that. The guy I talked about very early on in this video series, the guy with the patch on his chest who works for the CIA against his will, he was telling me, and other people have done too, what the microchip can really do. And if we allow ourselves to be microchipped on the basis of, oh, well, it's better than having credit cards and money, that's what the cashless society is about. It's about getting people to be microchipped. And we'll never lose our child again if we microchip them at birth. All this stuff's being suggested now. But he said, you know, when people are microchipped, they are giving external control of their physical health, their emotions, and their mental processes, their mental faculties, their mental perception to whoever controls the microchip. And if everyone's microchipped, you suddenly got mass control on the end of a button, almost, of the population. That's the idea. That's what we're being drawn into as part of this agenda as it unfolds. And if we say no to one thing only and then go back to watching The Price is Right, let us say no to the microchip, because then at least we've got a bit of a chance here. The United Nations symbol came out of the Freemasonic symbolism also. The United Nations was created to be a focus for the centralization of global power, like that world government on that earlier slide. The sections in that target-type symbol of the United Nations, there's 33. Just happens to be 33 degrees of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. And it's kind of nicely framed, isn't it, with those leaves. I wonder where that came from. Oh, yes, I remember now. It's a Freemasonic symbol, again, transferred to the United Nations. These symbols of these various levels of control, the European Union has 12 stars in a circle, etc. They're all esoteric symbols. Now this, I guess of everything I've said so far, this next few minutes are going to be the most important, because I'm talking about the most powerful means of mass manipulation which has been played, this card, for thousands of years, and we're still falling for it. And it is this more than anything that's advanced this agenda to centralization of global power. I call it problem, reaction, solution. Works like this. You want to bring something in here, centralization of power, more power for the police, more power for security agencies, whatever, and you know that if you do it openly and honestly, there's going to be a reaction against it. We're not having this. This is a global fascist state. Go away. We're not standing for this. This is outrageous. That's what you're going to get if you do it openly. So you don't. What you do is you create a problem here. Could be society breaking down, so there is more crime, so people get in fear of being mugged and being burgled. Could be war, it could be a terrorist bomb, an economic collapse, whatever. And you create a problem, but you get someone else to be blamed for it. You get a Lee Harvey Oswald, you get these patsies, as they call them in America, who are blamed for events that they weren't involved in. You then get the people in general, by the way that you report your problem, to react by demanding you do something. This can't go on, do something. What are they going to do about it? And at that point, those who covertly created the problem and got that reaction, something must be done, then openly offer the solutions to the problems they have themselves created. Problem, reaction, solution. Who benefited from the Oklahoma bomb? Not the people of Oklahoma, not the people who died and lost children and relatives in that bomb. One group of people and one group of people only benefited from Oklahoma, anyone who wanted to centralize power even further in America. Because anti-terrorism bills went through Congress that took away basic freedoms from Americans purely and only because of that bomb. And as independent bomb experts and explosive experts have said, that fuel fertilizer device in the Ryder truck could not possibly have done that damage. It had to be done by high-tech devices on some of the pillars inside the building. So problem, reaction, solution is the classic means of advancing this agenda and getting the population to demand you do it, even though they don't know the agenda exists. And the Second World War, like the First World War, were global examples of this. As I've shown in my books like And the Truth Shall Set You Free and The Biggest Secret, come to that, the Second World War was the creation of a brotherhood, a global elite, that was funding all sides, that had control of the leaders of all sides, and just played them off against each other to create a war, a problem, which then had a solution. As again, myself and many other researchers have shown, Soviet communism was funded from Wall Street and London. The Nazis were funded from Wall Street and London, through the Bank of England and through the German subsidiaries of American and British multinational corporations, not least the Rockefeller Standard Oil. The front men of the war were Joseph Stalin in Russia, front man for this brotherhood. You had Winston Churchill in England, whose image left us by conventional history is an absolute farce. This guy was a man of war, among many other things. In America, you had one of the classic frontmen of the 20th century for this brotherhood, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, comes from one of the elite aristocratic French bloodlines. In Germany, you had Adolf Hitler, who was put in there by a network of secret societies, the Thule Society, the Vril Society, the Edelweiss Society, that locked into this global brotherhood. And they were funded by American loans and in the way that I've just talked about. So you create two sides. Incidentally, again, sun cycles, numerology, certain years, certain things happen. You look at 1933. 1933, the number of things that happened in that year, that's when the pyramid and all-seeing eye went on the dollar bill. That's when Roosevelt stole the gold from the American people. That's when Hitler came to power. That's when Roosevelt came to power. No accident. All by design. And then you get two sides and you play them off against each other in a war. And from the war, at the end of the Second World War, in such a few years, the human race was mentally, physically, emotionally, and mentally wiped. Exhausted. And in that mode, we are putty in the hands. What did people say? This can't go on. Something must be done. What are they going to do about it? What do they do about it? The United Nations, European Union, centralization of power, then we won't have another war. As I've shown in my books, documents exist that show that the Second World War was planned as the First World War was ending, probably before that.